there's an injustice against you or someone you love or someone you believe in, stand up. Don't sit down on them, if they need you.
Welcome to Popcorn Planet's Pop Culture Justice. Yeah, I know we're early. I'm early for once, but man, this thing's getting intense. We are following the Darrell Brooks case, and last night some drama really happened. Someone on Reddit, I believe this is a prank. They've now admitted it was a prank, but they came forward to say they were a juror in this case, and I believe Darrell Brooks' thread on Reddit, it got so big that yesterday the trial went so long last night that they had to come back and address it. In fact, here is the judge coming back and addressing it.
In person, he is wearing his jail attire this morning. I do want to make a record that at 8:46 p.m. yesterday, I did swear in 2 additional sheriff's deputies who would be working with our jurors through the overnight or third shift hours.
To watch them.
I did administer the same oath that was administered to all the other bailiffs yesterday evening. Then, of course, we are open, and the jurors are here, and they will be instructed to start their deliberations. The only other thing I would put on the record is I have received information regarding the Reddit post, that there was a subsequent post from that website indicating that it was a prank. And so I don't know to what extent the Sheriff's Department is looking into that as well, but it's my understanding, based on news reports, that that entire post or site was taken down. Not the site of Reddit, but it's no longer, I believe, viewable. But there was that additional information regarding that, at least from the administrator, I believe, of that post. So I just wanted to put that on the record. And if and when, or I should say when, the investigation is completed, I will assure the parties that you will be provided with that information.
As if this case couldn't get more complicated. So, of course, what does that mean? Well, of course, it means he wants to now, I'm fast forwarding the first half hour or so of this.
Specific request would be to look into a mistrial and also any alternatives along those lines, short of that or along those lines, or a mistrial. I was looking at some, obviously, yesterday was very, very long for everybody.
I wonder why, sir.
And as you know, because of my status here in the jail, I'm allowed to have law library time up until a certain point of the evening, and then I have to shut it down per jail policy. So I was able to find a few different things that I wanted to bring to Your Honor's attention, if I may.
Go ahead.
It's honor. This judge is so patient.
Being,
he's going to bring up the Reddit thread.
United States versus his post. I think his name is in the email, but then that even begs the question of how did this person come across this site? What is their significance to this? What is their role in this? It's just so many questions, and
he's trying to basically say this Reddit post had information that wasn't available,
points
which is
your integrity, Your Honor. It's alarming. It's very alarming, and if there's a chance that there can be hidden bias in this jury, it needs to be addressed now rather than later.
So now we've given him a hand. This
is very concerning.
The Reddit post proves the jury wasn't actually unbiased. Mistrial!
Well, thank
Mistrial!
You for concerns. Let me turn to the state if they want to respond, and then see what other issues they want to cover this morning.
Judge, the original post was on a subreddit thread called Justice for Darrell. That's the copy that the defendant has in front of him. That post was edited last night, claiming that it was a prank from the start, and that the original poster was didn't think it would get that far out of hand. The way that Reddit works, the only person who can modify the content of the original post is the original poster, and because the jurors have no access to any electronic devices, I think it's safe to say that our 12 jurors back there are not the original poster. So I think that puts that issue pretty much to bed. It's still obviously under investigation because the court takes it so seriously, but there really is no actionable or any real reason why we should doubt the jury's being unbiased in this case.
I object to that on the grounds, Your Honor, that, like you just stated, it's an investigation going on. And
God,
if
this
there's
guy is the worst.
Investigation,
He's
then that
literally the
clearly
worst.
says that something is amiss. We have 15.
They all have their
We have
devices
15
gone, you
jurors.
idiot.
There's
Oh,
still too many questions that we don't know. Too many. I don't think anything's put to bed because we don't know. It's unfair
No,
to say
they
that
didn't have phones.
the issue was put to bed when there's still so many questions left.
They're watched by
there.
officers. They didn't have phones.
I'm sure you
They're
reviewed
sequestered.
it yourself, Your Honor. You see the language in this, whatever it is, thread. I don't know. I don't know what this is. It's clearly a post from somebody who has intimate knowledge of the trial and what's going on
Because it's
in
on
the trial.
TV. You
I don't
moron.
think- I mean, common sense would tell you that this is someone who's very close to the case. Whether they were intending to be funny, whether they were intending to try to prank the court or anything like that, we don't know. That could be anybody's guess. The language in this, the way that it's formatted, they lay out 4 specific points of what they think. They point to certain language in the case. They make references to saying when we were in the room. They got certain feelings from when they specifically refer to themselves and a group. That would be we, plural. They say, and I have to admit, I am biased against the defendant for the horrible acts he did. And they attack you, Your Honor. They clearly attack you. This is if this is someone's idea of fun, is anybody's guess, but I don't believe that it is, clearly by the way it's formatted and by the language that is in it. This
Oh my
is
God,
clearly
can you
someone
imagine
with
being the judge here and being
intimate
the-
knowledge of the case and what's going on. Clearly.
Clearly. Clearly
There's
this
no
show
other way. There's no other way to
isn't
interpret
televised.
this.
There's no other way to
You can tell
justify
by just
the
by
internet.
what they're laying out in the language that they're speaking
With the language and the formatting.
That this is clearly someone.
This is clearly a
close to the
tacit
case.
agreement.
And because of that, it still has to be. I'm informed of the investigation, but there's still too many questions left in the air just from this. How can
Must
we
be a
say
mistrial.
anything's
Too
put
many
to bed
questions
when
in the air.
there's still an investigation?
Too many questions. Too
For
many
all
questions
we know,
in the air.
what if this turns up that it was someone on the jury, or what if it turns out that more people are involved in it than just whoever this anonymous
It's a conspiracy
person was
against
who left the
him.
post.
Oh, got it.
It's too many questions and
Too
it's
many
too
questions.
concerning. What if something like this springs up again at the last minute? We've been going through the trial now for basically 3 weeks, the better part of 3 weeks, and even in court days leading up to the trial, we've never had anything like this happen. Nothing like this has been brought to your attention. Nothing like this has been.
Oh my God,
been
why
brought
does she
before the
keep
court's
letting
attention.
him
This
talk?
just came out
Like,
of the blue,
I'm-
and now all of a sudden
I'm sorry.
it's being labeled a prank. Is that
what?
because they were
I thought
found
courts
out?
are like, all right, enough, sir, stop. Like, doesn't
I
the
mean,
judge get to
it
tell the
begs
lawyers to
so
like
many
shut up?
questions.
Like enough.
it's too
Overruled.
uncertain.
Sustained.
It's too
Sit down.
concerning.
Like what? Why is she allowing the circus
It's too
to
alarming
continue?
to just overlook and say, "Oh well, we'll just set it to the side and let them." No.
Oh my God! Does she have to sit there this
There has
whole
to be
day
some type
waiting
of
for the
alternatives,
jury?
and something has to be done.
Why doesn't she get to leave and do other
Something.
stuff and then come back when the
And
jury's
if that's
here?
a
I don't even get
mistrial,
it.
if that's discharging a jury, if there's some other type of alternatives that can be looked at, I'm sure that these case
You're gonna
law
just stick
speaks
there
to
and just
other
like have-
options that could come into play. They deserve to at least be looked at, if anything, to protect the integrity of the trial.
Yeah, okay. We
I
already told you
find it
there's
very hard to
investigation.
believe that this close to the trial being over, and now all of a sudden these issues are being raised. So this is obviously not a prank,
Obviously not a prank.
and it's obvious
The way it's
that
formatted.
this is someone with intimate knowledge.
Yeah,
It's very clear to me.
very clear. Even though
Let
they
me
didn't have
address your
phones.
concerns, sir. I cannot make conclusions at this point about whether this is legitimate or a prank. What I know is as follows. I received the information about the subreddit post at approximately 9:30, 9:40 yesterday morning. I and I alone made the decision to withhold advising the parties because of where we were at in the trial, because there was nothing in that post, it was an anonymous post, that would lend credibility to that it was in fact one of these jurors. But out of an abundance of caution, I referred it to law enforcement because it is very serious if the integrity of these proceedings were to be put at issue by a juror. I'd remind you though, every single day these jurors were read the bulk of jury instruction 50. They all took an oath, and I have no reason to doubt that they would violate that oath at this time. So I
She's trying to
I
reason with
made the
this guy.
decision to withhold telling the parties because we were in the middle of instructing the jury. I was in the middle of instructing the jury. And I wasn't going to delay the proceedings because it was so speculative at that point and remains speculative at this point. As you know, the case went to the jury. I brought this up. I waited about a half an hour once the case went to the jury. Frankly, we had had a long day. I wanted to get a bit to eat, and then I wanted to come back out and make a record of what I had.
How dare you eat, Judge?
Once again, the forensic unit with the Sheriff's Department has taken lead of this investigation. I'm not a part of that investigation. Law enforcement will handle it. From my perspective, not only did the Clerk of Court's office receive emails regarding this, it sounds like the district attorney received emails. I may have even gotten one, I don't remember the time, it was later regarding the post. Frankly, people figure out my email all the time. It was not solicited by me in any way, and I did not respond to it, and I simply forwarded that email onto law enforcement.
Oh,
So
God,
it's pretty
all this
clear to
stuff
me
is so
that a lot
careful.
of people have access to Reddit. I personally am not a user of Reddit, so I don't know the ins and outs of it, other than it is a social media site where people can create accounts and post.
And make stuff
And there
up.
can be like chat rooms, for example, or just various, as this is called, subreddits. And at this point, you've requested a mistrial. You've requested that I discharge the jury. I'm declining to do that at this
Good.
time, sir. Again, I need to make decisions based upon the record that's before me. And right now, the record is speculative. There are no facts
Yep.
to support a mistrial or discharging the jury. I trust the parties will continue in their own independent investigations, that you will continue reviewing case law, make whatever requests that you deem appropriate. I certainly will take time to look at the cases you have cited, to see if there's anything based upon the requests that you have made that I would need to further review. But at this time, I do not see grounds for a mistrial. I do not see grounds to discharge the jury. And that is how I will address it at this point. I know the state, I believe, wanted to address something else. I'm not sure if that was it, but you had deferred to Mr. Brooks, so go ahead. Is there anything you want me to address or at least bring to the court's attention?
There you have
Just
it.
a
He's
minor
not gonna
point,
do
Your
it.
Honor. You had noted the defendant is in his orange jail uniform today. It's my understanding the jail did offer him the ability to put on his street clothes, and he declined, so I just wanted that on the record. There may be occasions where this jury has to be brought into the courtroom for one reason or another, and he should be in civilian clothes if that occurs, if he chooses to.
It's a good point to bring up. It is possible the jury would need to be brought out if there is any question that I need to answer on the record. If for some reason the technology were not to be working appropriately when videos or other evidence are displayed to them. And so it is possible that the jury would need to come out. Of course, they'll come out if and when a verdict is reached. So I would certainly give you the opportunity, sir, if you want to change into the street clothes, that I would certainly direct the Sheriff's Department to make that available for you,
Isn't
should you
that-
choose.
Isn't it my choice?
Yes, it is.
So why
It
do
just-
why do I need to be in street clothes? Why does that need to be on the record? That
Your choice should be placed on the record, sir.
if or
That's
if
why.
not, I was offered to be in street clothes. If I made it the choice,
You're the type
Do you
of person who's
dispute
gonna
that,
use that
sir?
against them.
yes, I dispute it because it's my choice.
Well, no,
At
do
this
you
point-
dispute that you were
at this
given the
point, there's
choice
no-
this morning?
At this point, there's no reason why that should be on the record, that if or if I was not offered street
That's the
clothes,
guy who would
what
clearly be like, they didn't even let me put my
relevancy does
street
that
clothes
have
on.
to?
Could have potential relevancy later on if
Why?
you were to challenge that you and claim that you were required to wear your jail
Yep.
uniform or jail attire. You're
didn't-
not required.
I
This
didn't
is a
make that
trial. You
request.
have the right to wear street clothes, and I will certainly provide that opportunity should you wish to change at any point in time. But what you're telling me is it's your choice to be in jail attire. I'll respect that choice,
Yeah.
of course.
So why does that need to be stated for the record?
'Cause you're a
Just
scumbag.
indicated why, sir. So,
I don't see the relevancy of it.
all right, at this point,
I
unless
never
there are any
raised-
further issues,
She's
I
like-
am going to go back into my office. The courtroom will
done.
remain open, and we'll let you know when the jury communicates
There-
with us, either about a question or verdicts.
There is something that needs to be addressed, subject matter jurisdiction.
The
Why
court
hasn't-
declines that. I'm stepping off.
Why hasn't it been proven on the record yet? And I object.
Oh, boom! It's out. All right, so that I was a little bit behind because I knew this was going to not be forever. So we are currently live. I don't know if I'm going to sit here. We'll see how long. If the verdict comes in today, I will, and we're still live. I will cut it, and we're going to go to it right now. Well, there you have it, a full show. We watched the full breakdown, the whole verdicts. It was insane. He did not have a breakdown, but a lot happened. You'll want to check out the full show. Make sure you hit that join button, pick a tier, and then you'll be able to go to our members-only playlist in the main channel page to watch all the replays of our lives, sometimes 3-4 hours at a time. It was so also nice to have Legal Vices here offer his legal commentary. Such a pleasure to have you, sir. Please come back. Always a pleasure to have It's Kim and all the callers that called in today. We'll be back tomorrow with our regular pop culture news. I don't know what it's going to be. We always pivot to whatever's happening in the headlines, so it'll be something crazy, I'm sure. I look forward to seeing you guys there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to all of these channels. Hit their bells. Hit those likes. Leave a comment to help the algorithm against that crazy algorithm. And stay tuned for more here. We'll probably have another video maybe later today, but thank you for catching this early live. Appreciate you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everybody.
Bye.